নমস্কার, ফেস টু ফেস সৌম্যজিতে আপনাদেরকে স্বাগত। সন্ধ্যে 7টা বুধবার মানে ফেস টু ফেস সৌম্যজিতে একজন চেঞ্জ মেকারকে নিয়ে আমরা চলে আসি। আজকে আমাদের সঙ্গে সেরকমই একজন চেঞ্জ মেকার, একজন ইয়াং চেঞ্জ মেকার, নাম রণদীপ সাহা। তার গল্পটা প্রথমেই বলে দেবো না, কিন্তু এটুকু বলে দিচ্ছি, আপনারা আন্দাজ করুন তার বয়স। এই বয়সেই কি পরিমাণ ঘাত, প্রতিঘাত এবং সাফল্যের সঙ্গে এগিয়ে চলেছেন, সেই লড়াইটাই হচ্ছে আজকে আমাদের গল্প শোনার দিন এই চেঞ্জ মেকারকে নিয়ে। আমরা তার উপর একটা ছোট্ট অডিও ভিজুয়াল বানিয়েছি। সেই অডিও ভিজুয়ালটা আপনাদের দেখানোর পর আমরা শুরু করব। তার আগে রণদীপকে আমরা স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি আজকের ফেস টু ফেস সৌম্যজিৎ, তারপরেই আমরা দেখে নেব আজকের অডিও ভিজুয়াল। আমরা চলে এসেছি রণদীপের সঙ্গে আজকে কথা বলতে। রণদীপ সাহার এই জার্নিটা একটা মজার জার্নি, একটা রোমাঞ্চকর জার্নি। আর সেই জার্নিতে আজকে আমরা একদম প্রথমে দাঁড়িয়ে আছি। সেই জার্নিটাকে আপনাদের সামনে তুলে ধরবো। আমরা জানি না কতটা পারবো। আজকে রণদীপের গল্পের প্রথম প্রশ্ন, কিভাবে ইন্সপায়ার্ড হলে রণদীপ আজকে এই যাত্রা শুরু করার জন্য? এই প্রশ্নটা দিয়েই আজকে আমাদের শো শুরু করছি।
তো আমি তখন কলেজের ফার্স্ট ইয়ারে, it is like back in 2014-15. So I was doing computer science engineering, BTech 14-18 batch, and back then in 2014 there was this digital revolution. এখন যেমন একটা ডাইরেক্ট টু কনজিউমার revolution চলছে, we see all D2C brands like Boat, Sugar and other brands doing really well. 2014 was the year when these brands like Amazon, Yupme, Ask Me Bazaar, all these online businesses were growing in India. And I felt ki why don't we start something online as well? I remember getting rareplanet.in back in 2014 and starting a website with our handmade kullers. While in the introductory video, I was seeing that picture of those olden kullers which I had made by myself. So it was like I had painted those kullers, tried selling in a school fest, sold more than 300 pieces of it, and I realized why don't we come online and start selling? But sadly, business is very difficult, and just making a website doesn't ensure great business. So that's how I started back in 2014.
একদমই, মানে এত ইন্সপিরেশনের পেছনে কি নিজেই নিজের ইন্সপিরেশনটা জুগিয়ে তুলেছিলে না অন্যরকম কিছু?
So the thing is, our financial condition was not that good. My dad was into business since beginning, and we used to have factories in China and a lot of other things. But then when I was in 11-12 এর যে সময়টা, তখন আমার বাবার বিজনেস খুব খারাপ হয়ে যায়। and I still remember আমি সরকারি কলেজে ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং পড়ি, কিন্তু সরকারি কলেজেও ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং এ ভর্তি হওয়ার জন্য একটা ভালো অ্যামাউন্টের টাকা দিতে হয়। I remember যে ওই টাকাটা দিতেও খুব অসুবিধা হয়েছিল আমাদের। তো ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং এর ফার্স্ট ইয়ারে পড়াশোনা করছি, কিছুটা একটা আমি ভেবেছিলাম যে নিশ্চয়ই নিজে থেকে শুরু করব, যাতে সেমিস্টারের ফিস গুলো নিজে হাতেই দিতে পারি। এন্ড তখন আমি দেখি যে হস্তশিল্প মেলা আর আমাদের কারিগরদের যে অবস্থাটা ওয়াজ নট দ্যাট গ্রেট। বিশ্ব বাংলাও তখন এমন ভাবে আসেনি। There was a change in the government happening, and a lot of other things were happening, and that's when I started. But luckily, things fell into place. Maybe
Yes.
when what God says is, কেউ সত্যি মন থেকে যদি মেহনত করে,
কিছু চাই।
কিছু চায়, তখন the universe is there to help, and maybe something of that sort happened with me, and I can vouch for it. মানে things which I wanted to achieve standing in 2021, I feel maybe it was universe who came ahead and supported me.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yes. When there is will,
There is always
other
a way.
things, yes, there is always a way. My next question, actually, when I was gathering information in the internet space about you and through private chat also, I came to know that you are not only you have not only started startup or right now you are entrepreneur. It's something you thought in a unique manner, unique manner, that is inclusive entrepreneurship. And you employ your artisans in such a manner that their educations are also managed through their earning. So, how do you think of this inclusive entrepreneurship?
So the whole model in which we run the business is very unique. We have 18 clusters across the country today. In all these 18 clusters, we have more than 3,000 artisans who are working. And we try to impact the family first, because I feel कि अपने देश में in India it is always about the relationship and the family. So last year in Diwali, last year Diwali was very bad. We had Corona, but last year Diwali, we didn't give bonuses to our artisans. Rather, what we did is we tried painting all their homes. So what how it connects is, in our society, or to the society these artisans belong to, when their homes were painted, it costed a bit more, but then when their homes were painted, they could held their heads up in their society and say कि देखो मैं एक ऐसा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए काम करता हूँ जिसने हमारे घर को पेंट करके दिया. And that is the sort of a social change you bring amongst the society. And all the families who work along with us, these artisan families, we have their insurance done, we take care, their children go to schools, their education is taken care of. So these are the small things which we try to do from our end. I believe that the growth should be inclusive, and it should not only be rare plant which should be growing, but it should be all 3,000 plus people who are associated with us. They should also grow in their lives, because if everyone is growing, then only we can grow as an organization.
Right. So it is 3,000 plus artisans. How many states you have your footprint?
So, in terms of karigars, we walk from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. I was in Kashmir in this Diwali with all my artisans. So we have steel painting that is being done in Kashmir. We have enamel painting in Kashmir. We have copper in UP. We have Gond in Chhattisgarh. So we have almost covered 21 states. In terms
Right.
of our reach, we are present at 200 plus locations across the country, where it's a shopper stop or a crossword or a lifestyle. We have our own stores in different airports now, be it Calcutta Airport, Goa, Varanasi, Bangalore. So these three
So
airports, we have our own stores.
yes, you are present in so many places. My
Yeah.
question, you started with Kullad. You only told in first year you started painting, and those audiovisual pictures gave you some nostalgic feeling also. So how did you switch over to other branch of this entrepreneurship? You started with Kullad. What was the necessity? That is very interesting part of your whole journey.
So my vision always with terracotta was, we see ceramic products across the world, whether it's ceramics in Japan or ceramics in Singapore or in ceramics in US. Everyone is working on creating world-class products in ceramics. but no one was working with terracotta. And I was very well connected to our desh ki mitti, and I always wanted to do something for this desh ka. Matlab, this mitti, this soil, this mud has I have a soft corner for mud. And that was one of the reasons I started painting on basic kullad which you get in the market. Maybe I used to stay in Girish Park in Calcutta, and we used to have this bazaar where I used to go get those normal basic kullad. This is a very refined version of a kullad, but those old kullas which you showed in the video before, we used to get those kullas and I used to paint and sell them. But over the years, we improvised on this kullar, made kullar go world class. So today our kullars are a hero. This 15th August, Rajkumar Rao, Shabana Azmi, Sonu Sood, everyone was endorsing our kullar. Tata's came ahead and became a brand ambassador to promote the kullar. We were there on newspapers on 15th August, and that on the first page of the newspaper. But then, over the period of 2 years after starting, I realized that it is not only about kullad. Because if I only keep painting on kullad or do things on terracotta, I won't be able to impact a larger cluster of artisans. And when we talk of artisans, it doesn't only include terracotta artisans, but it also includes ceramic, it also includes copper, steel, brass, resin. So slowly and steadily, we got into a lot of other forms of art and other forms of materials. And this also increased the portfolio of the company in terms of the products which we could offer, and
Right.
also increased our reach.
Right. So while you were referring to reach, and I think your journey started in 2015,
Yeah, 14, 15.
14, 15. So almost 5, 6 years past. So in
Almost.
terms of reaching customers, I think it is several lakhs or thousands.
Yeah, yeah. We touched, so our company is valued at more than 100 CR now. We have
Yes.
touched lives of more than 10 lakh people in terms of our products, and the number is constantly growing. Now, with
Yes.
our own stores in airports, we could touch so many customers every day. And
Right.
I feel COVID, people always keep saying that COVID did a lot of destruction. But I feel COVID was one of that turning points in the whole business,
Yes.
where pre-COVID we were a complete retail-centric business. Today we
Now
are a
on
50,
digital e-commerce.
yeah, we have e-commerce. So that e-commerce website which I started in 2015, which didn't work, today it is working. Today we have a huge part of revenue coming from digital. So yeah, with time things have changed.
So blessing in disguise.
Yeah,
So
true.
you told during today's interview that in the first year you started this dream, and you have passed engineering, you are BTech. So how did you manage these studies and this startup? How? Very interesting, I think, this part of your journey.
So, as you said, if there's a will, there's a way always. And this is something anyone who's doing engineering in India would really relate to. कि हम लोग पढ़ाई तो करते हैं नहीं कॉलेज में. Hardly we study in college.
You are so frank and candid in your confession.
In terms of engineering, I really don't remember
When you read,
any such semester when I did study. So I had very good set of friends who were toppers in the college, and they had everything ready. So 10 to 12 days before the exam, I used to start studying. They used to teach me. My college was very, very cooperative. Uh, I feel a lot of credit goes to my college, and the highest credit goes to my parents for supporting me, for being there, for helping me in everything. And the second most important thing was my college. Because if they didn't support me, I wouldn't have been here. They supported me with attendance. They supported me with a lot of things. People say that सरकारी college में या सरकारी दफ्तर में कुछ नहीं होता है. But with me, the thing was totally different. I was lucky to be in a government institute, and I was in WBUT in-house, and the vice chancellor of the university used to sit in our campus, and maybe that did a lot of difference. So yeah, but it was like a juggling show. So 4 years of engineering I juggled a lot, but the day engineering ended, that day I realized that वही life better था. एटलीस्ट वो स्टूडेंट का टैग था तो गलती करने पे लोग थोड़ा कंसिडरेट होते थे. But once that student tag is gone, you are into professional world. Then you do a mistake and then you get a bashing as if you're a professional person. So yeah, things changed. But yeah, I'm enjoying this journey.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what I like that you had your confession that पढ़ाई तो नहीं किया इंजीनियरिंग में, वो सबसे अच्छा लगा मेरे को. अभी हम लोग आते हैं दूसरा बात में. आप देखिए, आप बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स अभी बनाते हैं.
Yes.
तो इसमें आपका प्रोडक्ट की यूएसपी क्या है? आप नाउ यू आर वर्किंग विद जायंट कंपनीज इन दिस प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी.
So we try to make one thing very clear. We will not sell anything which is 100% machine made. That we are always against this. Any product we sell, at least 50% of that product has to be handmade and has to impact lives. Because the whole motive behind initiating this journey or starting off this business was to help people, help karigars. And Ami as an individual always wanted to make this Atmanirbhar thing, which suddenly got into limelight after our Prime Minister said Atmanirbhar. But then I was always, we always as an organization wanted to make Karigars Atmanirbhar. And that was the initiative from day one. Like 3-4 years back when I met you first time, even that time it was my dream to make Karigars Atmanirbhar. And a product in which at least 50% of the product is made by hand, that is what we accept. And anything below 50% which is not made by hand, we don't want to sell it. And that will remain the USP till the time the organization stays. We will not compromise on this.
There are other factors also. Price sensitive product could be there. Quality is always there. Until you have a good quality, it will not sell. So it is a chain system, chain value system.
Pricing and quality come hand in hand, and the locations which we are based at, quality matters a lot.
All right. I will come to the thing what we discussed earlier also, that is inclusiveness. Because you told that during Diwali you got your artisans' houses painted, and that impacted their lives, their inner soul realization, everything that enhanced. And do you regularly analyze the impact of such exercises in respect of inclusiveness?
I personally do, and there's a specific department in our office. This department sits in Gurgaon, and their work is to measure the social impact which we are creating. I feel पैसा तो हर कंपनी बनाता है, ठीक है. Profit making company, its work is to make money, ठीक है. But then I calculate happiness, and the gross happiness of the organization depends on the impact that company or that organization has made in the number of lives it is associated with. Because आप आज किसी कंपनी में काम करते हैं, कल किसी दूसरे कंपनी के लिए काम करेंगे. But the day we painted the houses of these people, no matter tomorrow they'll work for some other organization or they start their own business or whatever it is, they'll never forget what we did. So this is where our inclusiveness comes into play. I remember during COVID, we had this cluster head in Muradabad. His name is Makbul Bhai. So Makbul Bhai's son was sick and he was diagnosed with typhoid. And it was a very bad situation in our office, the way things went wrong. And 24th of March, we are standing on 16th of March, 24th of March last year when lockdown was imposed, our business was completely dependent on malls and airports. And these karigars who work with us, they were left without work. And in our model, when there is no work, there is no pay. because for the number of products we are creating, on the basis of that, the payment keeps going every week. Suddenly, that payments got stopped, and it was not in our hands as well. On 7th or 8th of April 2020, we got a call from Makbul Bhai that his son is severely ill and has to be admitted to hospital. He was diagnosed with typhoid. And 7th, 8th April, you can understand, it was ekdam peak of lockdown. Just lockdown was imposed. We realized that if a cluster head like Makbul Bhai is facing such issue, what is happening with people who are in the lower end of the pyramid? There are
Right.
karigars who just paint, who just put a chemical on this cooler. So there is this very unique chemical which we have a patent on, is applied on the cooler, which makes it dishwasher proof and microwave safe. So there are people who do a activity as small as this. If a clustered head is facing such problem, what about karigars like these? So we thought a lot and we got into the mask business on 15th or 18th of April. We made a final call. For Makbul Bhai, we sent money then and there and we made sure his son was taken care of. And that also created a lot of impact in the whole cycle. Though he had insurance, but then you remember during that first initial COVID phase, no insurance, nothing was being accepted. And especially in a city like Muradabad, things were really difficult. So after that, we took a decision on 15th or 18th of April. We realized that we want to get into the mask business, get into essential business. And what we realized is we figured out what is the percentage of women karigar to men karigar. And then out of these people, how many people knew how to stitch. We made sure clothes were given to their homes and they started making masks at their place. It was a long process, but by 10th of May, we had our first box of masks ready. I remember 26th of May 2020, domestic
Wow.
flights were resumed. And 20th of May, we had Amphan in Calcutta. We were so unlucky. 26th airports are reopening. Our essential products were supposed to be in different airports, and our city was stuck by Amphan. But luckily enough, the day airports opened, our masks, sanitizers, and all these products were there across all the airports in the country. And positively, we got a huge response on Flipkart and Amazon and on our own website for masks. As a result, we could start giving back to these karigars who started working since the first half of the April month. And very soon by June, things were normal for all the karigars who were involved with us. In the
Right.
month of
Right.
August, we had Deshka Kullar with Tatas. And we had to increase number of people in terms of karigars. So I feel
The
if we
graph
were,
is always increasing.
yeah. Now to we are in the full strength. There is no
Yeah.
work from home, nothing.
Right.
I pledge to do a vaccine drive for all our karigars. I hope vaccination becomes private as soon as possible so that we could buy or we could give a private player a contract for all 3,000 karigars we have. And I want all our karigars to get vaccinated and their families.
Right. Happy to note all these developments. And you made it a point that the artisans with whom you have been working since long, they are not deprived of the basic living comfort. That is that is a fantastic point to be noted. Now I'm coming to in this business scenario where the Indian handicraft industry is estimated to be several billion. I hope so, and there are notable players also, World Art Community, Art India, Sanskriti, Craftsvilla, and so other organizations with whom you are competing, or you are also a brand that they are competing with you. How do you react on this? What is your take on it?
See, everyone has its own niche and we have our own customer niche. Every brand, whether it's Craftsvilla or it's Jaipur or multiple other brands are there in the market. Everyone has created its own niche, and I feel I'll give you a very nice example. So if there's a store of Fab India and Rare Plant in a mall next to each other, our customer profile is defined. A customer who loves buying from Rare Plant or loves a specific product from Rare Planet will come and buy it from us. And if he loves to buy something from Fab India, he'll go and buy it from Fab India. So we have created our own market opportunities and own markets. And I feel healthy competition is good for the economy to grow.
Right, right. So what I find that you are engineering graduate, but your management skill is more better than the engineering skill. On a lighter note,
Uh, Maybe managing people for last 6 years of my life, the management skill has grown.
yes. Now another question, because now you are in startup, you are getting, I mean, investment funds also. You are telling that your company has been valued at 100 crore also. So, how do you consolidate your corporate governance and this revenue model? Just tell us briefly about it.
So basically, for corporate governance, there are different layers of people inside the organization itself. Because I know nothing. Truly speaking, I know nothing. And I was fortunate enough to take a lot of decisions early on in life, back in 2017, 18, 19, where I got a co-founder, I got different people as heads of different parts in the organization, which has helped us grow. When I did those, it costed us a bomb because none of these people come for free, and there's a salary amount and a big salary amount included. But you have to see a long term vision, and when you have a vision, all these costs I feel get covered, because back in 2019 what seemed to be costly in 2021 seems very cheap, because if I wouldn't have had that resource inside the organization, I would have ended up spending much more money than I had spent. So I feel for any startup or organization, getting the correct resource is very important, and human resource or human capital is the most important capital. In terms of business model, it is a bit secret, but then what I could say is
Right.
yes, we consider ourselves a travel retailer, and we want to be present across Southeast Asia, no matter whichever airport you travel to, whether it's Changi in Singapore or Shoujo in Shanghai, or whichever airport you land up in. We want to be there in all the Southeast Asian airports in next 5 years, and then maybe take it to other parts of the globe.
Right. So I'm happy that you made your secret plans with you under the case. It should not come out in the public domain. Uh, yes. Your company is growing in length and breadth and in terms of HR, in terms of everything, brand. So you need investment, and huge investment is required, because if you do not scale up one day, it will be dried up. So how do you bridge the gap? How do you get the investors? What is the, because why I'm asking this thing, because like you, new entrepreneurs, new startups may come, they may listen to this talk, they may get interested. So what is the basic education they should have to have investors on board?
There is no such education required, to be honest. The biggest example is of my friend Ritesh Agarwal, a founder of Oyo. He
Yes,
didn't even
boy.
ever went to college, and you see it's a decacron. It's valued more than $10 billion, and the
Yes, yes.
amount of money he has raised is insane. So there is no specific education that is required. What is required is your vision, your integrity,
Innovation, innovation, innovation.
innovation,
Okay.
innovation, integrity as a founder. Because when an investor is investing his or her money into a company, in very early stages, he is not investing the money into the organization, but he is investing into the person. So the founder's integrity is very, very important. Other than that, the tenacity and the perseverance of the person who's heading the organization is also very important. Because if you don't have enough patience, there are nights when, even today, there are nights when I sleep with a with tears in my eyes. Things will go wrong. Not Entrepreneurship is not a journey of a bed of roses. It has so many thorns. Every morning when you come to office, you realize that अरे इस वेंडर ने केस ठोक दिया कंपनी के ऊपर, इस वेंडर ने ये कर दिया, वो उधर का स्टॉक फंस गया, ये कुरियर में ये हो गया. So all these will be a part of your daily routine. But what investors look into is how you deal with it. Maybe there was a notion that previously only IITians were getting huge funds because people
Okay.
used to think, and now this whole concept has changed. Now investors are not seriously looking into IITians, but they're seriously looking into human beings in person, how they tackle with situations. And if you have a great vision and if you could explain it, if you could show results, my only suggestion will be you get an idea, don't run to an investor. If you get an idea, execute it. At least execute 5 to 10% of it and then go to an investor. I remember um 3 to 3.5 years I had raised no investment. I had bootstrapped, I had taken loan from the bank, and back in 2019, it was the first time I had raised funds. But once you have investors on board and you are doing great work, people actually notice. In 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, in the month of September, October, we had raised a second round of funding. So you understand, when September, October markets had dried up for businesses like us, it was only EdTech which was raising money. But then we, in the middle of that, had raised money. So that again proves that if you have great vision and you are working for your vision, money is not a problem. In today's India, money is flowing. It's just that you have to be that right person in which investors can put in their money into.
Right. Fantastic knowledge from you. And when the nation is moving local to local, make India, these are are they only slogans, or these startups and entrepreneurs, they get, or the MSMEs, they get this policy translated into their business, they get funds, they get
I
advice.
have got, I have got,
You have got.
I have got MSME benefits. I have
Okay.
got Stand Up India fund by Government of India, which was done by Modi ji back in 2014. I got the COVID loans as well. We had received huge amounts of loans from the government when the COVID happened. So I remember the finance minister giving a huge interim COVID budget, if that's the word, and which a huge package was introduced. And I know a couple of people like us who were banking with government banks, and we were given interest-free loans to be repaid till next 5 years within 7 days of that being done by FM. So I have received. And Make in India has got a huge push. We have got a huge facility in Vadodara in Gujarat and a facility in Uttar Pradesh. So, Make in India is truly happening. I know a few organizations who are into toy business, and currently, in last 2 weeks ago, there has been a SEZ which has been created only for toy manufacturing, in which Reliance is playing a very big role, and other small organizations are also a part of it. So yeah, the policies which are being said, they actually get implemented.
So it's a good knowledge. Now, not really political question, but you may think because the West Bengal election is round the corner, and if I ask you that is this Bengal scenario is as good as same with other state scenario for the artisans to have their livelihood on the artifacts and this kind of product?
I feel the scenario in Bengal is better than other states. With our current CM had a huge vision for the artisans, especially with Bisho Bangla coming in. Though Bisho Bangla is a sort of competitor to us, but then with Bisho Bangla coming into the whole story, artisans have been really benefited, and the government is doing work for them. But in terms of scaling up of an organization or a startup, I feel other states have a better hold on it, especially Gurgaon and Bangalore. But in terms of the artisan welfare, our state may be in first or second position across the country. That's what I've realized working with artisans across the country.
Right. Now I'm coming to a very, very personal question. And I think you are now 26 years old, Ranodeep?
Oh, no, no, I am 24.
24. So sorry, I made you older. So now you are 24. I'm extremely sorry. My question in two parts. Who is your social role model and who is your business role model? You may tell more than one name.
Okay. My social role model, as if current social role model is Sonu Sood. And I really, so he has endorsed our brand once, and we are trying to get him as a brand ambassador permanently. In terms of business role model, my mentor is the first role model I look into, and that is Sagar Daryani from Wow Momo. But other than him, I really look up to the founder of Paytm, because I
Vijay
feel
Sharma.
Vijay Shekhar Sharma
Sharma.
VSS has uh, मतलब वो एक चीज होता है ना, VSS has this great dialogue कि whatever is possible I'll do it. You see, Paytm was just a normal app to transfer money. It was a wallet, digital wallet.
Now it's a
Today,
bank.
Paytm is into bank, it is into insurance, it is into a payment solution, it is into Paytm games, it is into ticketing, and infinite Paytm Gold. So he is my role model. Sachin Bansal is also a role model, but my personal favorite will always be Vijay Shekhar Sharma.
Right. I'm extremely happy that you have not ducked any question. You always told that one has to be very honest. So you are always honest in answering the questions. And already you told about e-commerce and other thing, but my question is not about the revenue. Normally, people want to go for branding in a traditional way, and I think since you yourself is convinced about the e-space, you have taken the help of ACO and other digital connections to make your brand presence.
So when we started the brand, we didn't have money to do anything. I was very poor. I'm still poor. So we started opening shop-in-shops in different bookstores or shopper stops, which got the brand immediate fame. And I feel that instead of putting a billboard in the middle of a city, you should go and open a store inside an airport. Instead of paying a billboard 5 lakhs a month, start a store inside the airport. Your brand will obviously be visible. And once a consumer sees your brand inside the airport, the image which is created on the brain is very different and is very premium. And now with digital, I'll tell you a very interesting story. I knew nothing about digital marketing, nothing. And me and my co-founder, we were struggling on getting how to get people for digital, how to get it executed. So when the lockdown happened, we were clueless how to get revenue. April, May, June, July, 4 months, I did intensive study on digital marketing. I took admission in one of the classes. I went to two, three other classes. जैसे हम लोग जॉइंट का प्रिपरेशन करते थे वैसे मैंने प्रिपरेशन किया डिजिटल मार्केटिंग का, and that really paid off. I don't get time to do it myself, but now I can hire people. We hired people because I knew the subject. Vijay knew the subject, and hiring people were easy. And now when they report back to us, we know what is happening, what is the actual thing that is happening. So I feel before getting into anything, the entrepreneur should have some knowledge about that thing. And digital in recent times has played a very big role, has really
Right.
played big role.
So now from 2014, 2015, this is 2020, 21. So if I ask you from this startup journey, tell us two, three important things of your life which will never forget.
There are a lot of such incidents. Uncountable incidents have happened in life.
But in a flash
Uh,
of, if I ask you, I'm telling you example, if I ask you, what are the important soap brands? And tell me three brands, the way it flashes into your mind, the same way I want three or four such points from your mind.
okay. You want three or four such incidents?
Yes, what incidents or, I mean, your
I still
moments,
remember it
important
was,
moments. It may be failure, it may be success, but those moments you will never forget.
I still remember it was a Sunday evening. No, not evening, Sunday afternoon when I got a call. And I got the call and there's a very bad habit. I'll just listen to the call for 1 minute or mostly 30 seconds. I will disconnect the call. Take it. So I got a call from a person saying, I'm calling in from Tata's and we saw your cooler. We want to collaborate with you. This is in July end. I got a call at a Sunday afternoon, someone calling from Tata. This has to be some wrong number or someone is joking around. I disconnected the call. But the guy was really from Tata's. He was from Tata Consumer Products. And the way that thing happened was really phenomenal. I still remember 15th August 2020, me, my dad, my mom, all of us were bedridden with corona. But not for a single moment our business stopped. That day, when Tatas had put out advertisements in newspapers across the country, Sonu Sood and Rajkumar Rao and all this was happening, I was bedridden with COVID, but the business went on. And I'm really proud of the team because they could do it. That is one. Second is, always wanted to open a store inside Calcutta airport. The store was supposed to open. It was three times I have got rejected in get to open the store. There have been multiple hindrances because we were partners with WH Smith and we are still partners with them. But then suppose you are inside a mall which is built by Shopper Stop and you're already selling inside Shopper Stop. Shopper Stop won't allow you to open your own store inside that mall because that mall is made by them.
So,
So similarly was a incident with the Calcutta airport, but luckily enough we got an opportunity to open. We were supposed to open this on 15th of April and then this lockdown happened. 14th of Jan we opened the store in Calcutta airport and I still remember I made the first bill. और जब आप बिल बनाते हो ना जो पॉज से एक साउंड आता है जब बिल प्रिंट होता है that first sound is the most musical sound for an entrepreneur. So that is second. Third is I remember the day we started with Shopper Stop Crossword, and it was back in 2016. I remember they had said me it was before Rakhi, and we had to go and deliver coffee mugs to all their locations. I had no other way of commuting other than trains. It was in Bombay, and the 20 stores which were supposed to be delivered to were in different parts of the city. One was in Kalyan, one was Thane, one was in the central part of the city, one was in Malad. So 2 long days I traveled through and fro with a green bag full of coffee mugs and delivering them, and the outcome and the relationship which we built with Shopper Stop after that was phenomenal. So that is again an incident. The day I raised my first round of equity funding and the round getting oversubscribed, We had opened round for X amount and we got X plus 15 or something like that. That was another day which I can remember. I still remember I didn't have an office till the time I had raised my first equity round. I used to operate from my home. I remember investors coming to my home to see is this person genuine or not. So, so a lot of such incidents.
Right. Endless. That is why you asked me how many, only three.
I can keep on
So,
saying.
yes. We will definitely know afterwards also in our private chat on camera also. And another thing, see, you have endless stories you told. But do you have any plans? You are only 24 years, and any plans in near future that you will be penning a book for the startups or entrepreneurs? Because your valuable experience will give them a feeling that everything is doable. You told na that about
Definitely.
Vijay Shekhar Sharma. So, do you have any plans to pen any book?
I personally don't want to write, but then there is this person called Tamal Bandyopadhyay who has written
Yes.
this book called Bandhan and a couple of other books on different organizations which have been built. It's a dream for me that someday Tamal Bandyopadhyay pens down our story. I guess it's
Oh,
a long way from now. We are very small. Maybe 10, 12 years down the line, when Rare Planet has its stores all across the globe, I would really love to share the story that how it was built.
okay.
Because every day is a different story, and uh, if you start telling, there's so many stories to be told of.
Yes. I will definitely convey this message to Tamal Bandavada. He happens to be my friend also. From it's long 30 years we have been there. Okay, so I fondly cherish the memories of his Kolkata stay with business standards. So
Okay.
now, uh, that's one part. And see, you only refer. There was ups and downs in your journey. You failed, you succeeded. But when you failed, how did you inspire? This is not the inspiration. I want to know that what was the inspiration of your startup. When you failed, how did you inspire yourself?
फेलियर्स होते रहते हैं सर, क्या करें. I had a huge fight with one of the organizations just 2 weeks back, and I have a huge amount of money stuck with them. And today's an open world where you can poach. There is nothing called poach. Whoever pays more, people move on to that organization. And after COVID,
Yes.
things have changed. There is nothing called poaching. But I had a huge fight with one of the big conglomerates in the country last 2 weeks back. And I'm being very vocal about it because as a startup, if I am not vocal, then other startups will not be. And it is an industry where you have to be vocal. And problems keep coming. I was very
Positive
demotivated
mindset.
the day the thing happened. But the next morning, when I woke up and I saw a few more doors opening, so that night you just have to sleep with tears in your eyes. But next morning, when you wake up, it's a new sun, a new opportunity. When one door closes, five more doors open. And you have to
Right.
know how to knock on those five more doors.
Right. I salute your spirit. And Ranodeep, we will come back with a short break uh, after one commercial, and we will come back to you once again with another question.
Sure, I'll just get my charger. Give me a second.
Namaskar, Soumyajit welcomes you to Face Soumyajit. If you like our show, please visit Face Soumyajit, like it and share it. Also, subscribe our YouTube channel iCommunications. Press the bell icon to get instant notifications.
About our last question. So, welcome back, Ranodeep, in Face to Face Show Mujit. Hope you are enjoying the show, and we are with change maker Ranodeep Saha. So, my next question is what is your future scalability model of these organizations they're planning?
So I see there's this huge opportunity in digital space in next few years because India has just started adopting to the digital business, and COVID played a very important role in that. Pre-COVID, digital adoptance was less, but COVID changed everything. Nevertheless, digital is still 7% of the entire business. We still have 93% in terms of retail, and retail 2.0 is just about to begin. The way retail happens today, that will also completely change. A paradigm shift is being seen in the industry, and I feel in the domestic markets itself, there's huge opportunity in next 15 years. The next 5 years, things will change drastically, and companies who are able to adapt to these changes will make it to the maybe Tesla or something of that sort in retail in India. And I really want to be into that bandwagon. Let's see what future has in its store for us.
We exactly think the same way, and we hope that today's Kolkata boy, 24-year-old Kolkata boy, will be nationally famous, not only national, internationally famous, and the son of the soil, this Kolkata will be proud to host Ranodeep Saha within next 10 years, and all his dreams will come true in near future. He'll be able to employ more artisans. I correct myself, not employ. He will be able to make relationship with more artisans. He will see the whole thing in an inclusive way. So that way, Ranodeep Saha will connect more people and encourage more entrepreneurs. And with that, uh, I'm signing off from Face to Face Show Mojit Show. Tune up for the next Wednesday, 7 p.m. with another change maker. Thank you very much, Ranodeep, for agreeing to come and have interview with us. Thank you very much, Ranodeep.
Thank you so much, sir.
Namaskar. Soumyajit welcomes you to Face Show Mojit. If you like our show, please visit Face Show Mojit, like it and share it. Also, subscribe our YouTube channel iCommunications. Press the bell icon to get instant notifications.